Here's an article that was in The Intercept April 24th by Alex Emmons. Members of Congress demand Trump provide legal justification for Ceria attack. It basically goes into two senators, Senator Tim Kaine and Tim Kaine and Representative Alan Schiff from California, who I mentioned in the Armenian genocide video. He's represents Glendale and Pasadena district, which is highly Armenian. This doesn't necessarily relate to Armenia, but I just wanted to give you some backstory on who that guy is. So what this article is going into is basically they're saying Trump didn't have legal authority to attack Ceria, and they're demanding that he does something about it. He needs to provide legal justification. So what Trump is saying he has, and show as his press secretary, what happened after 9/11. I'll read it to you. This was passed. So Congress in 2001 passed a resolution allowing the president to use, quote, all necessary and appropriate force against those nations, organizations, or persons that were involved in the 9/11 terror attacks. And since then, the legislative branch has consistently ceded its authority in deciding to go to war. Bush and Obama have used the 2001 resolution to justify mass surveillance, bombing campaigns from Somalia to Pakistan, and prison operations from Afghanistan to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. So this is the thing that started after 9/11. Bush did it, Obama jumped on it, and now Trump is just more flagrant than his two predecessors. He doesn't have legal authority to do it, but they passed that law after 9/11, part of the Patriot Act that many Democrats went along with, like Hillary Clinton and many others, and gave up, we gave up our personal freedom and gave up privacy for security, for terrorism. So Bush did that, and everyone on the left was like, this is wrong, even though a lot of important Democrats went along with it. And then Obama got elected and started doing it, and many people on the left, myself included, I'll take responsibility for that, didn't call him on it. We kind of let it slide, and he's our guy, hope and change. So this is, and the Trump administration is just like, no, I have authority. I have the, 2 days after the missile strike, Trump sent Congress a notice that he had ordered it and that he had the constitutional authority to do it. Yeah, that's Trump. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And we allowed this to happen when the two presidents prior to you have just kind of bombed people without congressional authority. You had to, but this has been going on since Korea. That was a police action. And then, we're just aiding the Vietnamese. Like, this is how we do this. We just keep the war machine going by getting around the basis of our entire system, which is three branches of government, and Congress has to approve a war. But when you're in the state of endless war, we don't have to declare a war and, pack up a bunch of soldiers and send them overseas. We just send drone strikes, and it's okay. And it's just, it's just a response to this thing, and, a humanitarian crisis or whatever. So, and I'll go into the detail here from Kaine and Schiff, that they both wrote, the assertions of authority do not provide Congress with the information it needs to exercise our constitutional responsibilities, nor do they provide comfort to a public that fears deeper involvement in a horrific civil war at a time when the U.S. troop presence in the region is already increasing. Yeah, we keep slowly sending more troops back there. The legal justification, I was in Iraq in January of 2011, and Obama had said by the end of 11, we're going to be completely out of there. And I saw everybody pull people out. And I remember on the news in December of 11, the soldiers crossing the border into Kuwait, kissing the ground and throwing their boots, and we're done, and yay, we're out, and Iraq's better. And then ISIS came along. ISIS. Now we got to send a bunch of 500 consultants or whatever they're called now, advisors. That was the Vietnam thing. We kept sending advisors. Oh, really? A military unit, fully armed, fully trained? They're just advisors. Got it. They're going to go in an advisory capacity. So when they get shot at, they're going to just advise the enemy with their bullets. Makes sense. Legal justification for an attack on the Syrian government is not an afterthought, but rather a first-order consideration and something that is vital for the American people to understand at the outset. Well, that's good these guys are saying this, but of course then Howard Dean rips Tulsi Gabbard apart because she said publicly, what are we doing? And he said she should get out of Congress. Howard Dean, who's a draft dodger. The authors expressed concern that the Trump administration might take preemptive strikes against North Korea without consulting Congress. Oh, man. We're either going to do that or just provoke North Korea or Russia or China enough to where they have to attack us, or it'll just be a flat-out false flag where we'll attack ourselves and make it look like them. That's what's coming. And he can do whatever we want. The Democrats and Republicans let this happen after 9/11. And Obama carried it on, and now Trump gets to do it. So I did another video where that one woman was, a Hillary supporter was blaming millennial feminists for why Trump got into office. Really? This has been happening for a while. Hillary voted for Iraq. Like, John Kerry is the biggest hawk of all time. And you know what? I voted for that jackass in 2004. Because I was still in the deluded mindset that lesser of two, anything to stop Bush. I was part of that anything to stop Bush thing. Like, I got to get Bush out of there. We got to just get anyone out of there. Oh, no, I'm going to vote for John Kerry. And when he lost, I was all mad. I'm glad he didn't win. He's fucking the worst. He's been pro-airstrike Ceria forever. He didn't get to run again, by the way. While the president has the authority to use force to defend our service members and allies from an imminent threat, preemptive strikes could easily spiral into full-fledged war with a nuclear-armed adversary, Kane and Schiff wrote. It is precisely because the decision to go to war is such a monumentous one for any nation that the Constitution provides Congress alone with the power to declare war. Yeah, but when you just do piecemeal, you just do drone strikes and send a couple hundred or a couple thousand advisors, we don't have to have the big declaration of war like World War II. Several administration officials have defended the Syria attack by saying that it is the U.S. interest to deter future chemical weapon strikes. Oh, boy. So you're seeing how insane the Trump administration is. But let us not forget, it was only a couple weeks ago after these strikes that all these people on the left were cheering, John Kerry, Howard Dean were cheering the strikes. It needed to happen. All these former Obama advisors that wanted Obama to fucking strike the hell out of Assad were like, yeah, finally. Obama resisted that a little bit. Even drone strikey Obama resisted it. Sean Spicer said that when it's in the national interest of the country, the president has the full authority to act. Doesn't need the Congress. That's what the White House thinks. They can do whatever they want. Several legal scholars said the strikes were illegal without authorization. President Trump has no constitutional authority to unilaterally commit the nation to war against Syria, which is the effect of launching cruise missiles against Syria. Right, and they're like, well, but it's not an active war. Okay, so if a country launched cruise missiles against the United States, and we just go, hey, if they launched them into, a really bad crime-ridden neighborhood, if another country, just some neighborhood that was just up for grabs, and there's just street gangs, and it's awful, and they launched rockets and just took out a bunch of bad street gang members, would we be like, whew, all right, it's not an active war, they were helping us with our humanitarian crisis. Are we sending any rockets to Flint, Michigan? Because there's people suffering neurological damage from contaminated water. No drone strikes in Flint to stop the water crisis? The military's not rallying up? Oh, that's weird. Huh. Crumbling infrastructure? Are we dealing with that? Oh, we're not. We're not dealing with the crumbling infrastructure. We're sending rockets to stop chemical weapons, which are questionable. I did a whole article how an MIT professor that works... that consults the military on this stuff said it doesn't look like it happened. So it's more nonsense from the Trump administration, but it was all set up for him to create this bullshit and do whatever he wants. We've turned the president into not one of three branches of government, but just this authoritarian guy who can just do whatever the hell he wants. And the corporate Democrats let it happen because they benefit from the war machine. The only difference between a rocket attack from the Republicans or Democrats is the Democrat rocket has like a rainbow flag on it. Right when it blows up, it says equality, and that's the last thing they see before they meet their maker. That's the difference when the Democrats got really nice rainbow flag rockets. It's awesome. Thanks for watching. Support the Patreon page. That's how I can keep these doing. I want it. The more support I get, I can start doing video stuff and put the clips on here so it's not just me looking. I know this sometimes gets boring, but we need a little more support, and we can start making it cool and show clips, and you can read what I'm reading at the same time. So you guys are awesome, and welcome to all the new viewers. Like and subscribe, and keep staying vigilant. And I appreciate all your comments and discussions below. It's cool, and I like it. Keep it civil and polite. Let's not be dicks. Unless there's a troll, then fuck them.